Katy Perry has been glitching on stage like a robot at the end of its warranty period. Her recent tour features choreography that looks like she's battling an invisible mosquito with a glow stick. Her dancing is so disoriented she's resorted to jogging in circles like your uncle trying to find his car at the mall. And if you squint hard enough, you might call what she's doing twerking, but only in the same way you'd call a limp noodle a dance move. This is a dramatic drop from the candy-coated pop queen who once reigned supreme. Katy Perry's music dominated every award show, radio station, and teenage playlist in the early 2010s. She was bold, confident, and rebellious, the poster child for everything pop culture told young women to be. But the cracks in her glittery armor began to show. Her image and music, originally celebrated as a beacon of female self-expression, turned out to be the product of a brand, one that was carefully curated by a man with some deeply troubling SA allegations from another beloved pop star. And when fans expected her to denounce him, she hugged him like a long-lost friend at a family reunion. It left people asking, what does Katy Perry actually stand for? Today, she's not just getting clowned for offbeat performances. Her whole carefully built persona is unraveling. And it turns out, Katy's rise to fame involved some serious compromise. Let's rewind. She began as a gospel singer, raised by traveling Pentecostal pastors who popped up churches across the U.S. The only albums in rotation were gospel classics like Oh Happy Day and Amazing Grace, all 8 verses. She wasn't allowed to listen to secular music. Perry poured herself into music, learning guitar and writing songs. She traveled to Nashville to chase her dream and eventually signed with Red Hill Records at age 16. But gospel music, rich in faith but short on radio appeal, flopped commercially. Her label shut down. Left with 2 choices, stick with gospel and maybe fade into obscurity or compromise her values to chase mainstream stardom, she went west. In California, she rebranded and signed with Capitol Records. That's when she dropped the bombshell pop anthem I Kissed a Girl, a song that had parents clutching pearls and Katy calling her sister to break the news to mom and dad. Her parents weren't furious, just concerned she was losing her way. On the Call Her Daddy podcast, she shared how her worldview shifted when she began meeting people outside her bubble. I met people and thought, oh, you're not evil like I was told. Her black and white upbringing was meeting the full color spectrum of human experience. The problem? Her values seemed to change faster than a TikTok trend. It left fans wondering, if she could flip that easily, how authentic was she really? That shape-shifting would eventually boomerang back to her career. Still, the pop machine was just warming up. Her debut pop album, One of the Boys, Got People, Teenage Dream, cemented her as a pop juggernaut. It gave the world 5 #1 singles, including California Girls, Firework, and Last Friday Night. It was a sonic sugar rush backed by top-tier producers and catchy-as-heck writing. She was everywhere: radio, SNL, Sesame Street. Teenage Dream was a global soundtrack. By 2012, Billboard named her Woman of the Year. Feminism back then didn't require policy papers. It meant being a glamorous boss who owned her sexuality and danced on candy canes. But that flavor of girl power aged like milk in the fridge. So she pivoted again. Her next album, Prism, leaned a bit more into empowerment anthems. Roar debuted at #1 and went global. The album was huge. Her tour? Even bigger. It made $204 million. Her Super Bowl halftime show drew 118 million viewers, outshining the game itself. She wasn't just a pop star, she was pop culture. But then she got political. In 2016, she became one of Hillary Clinton's biggest celebrity supporters. She performed at rallies and sang about breaking bubbles and fences in Chained to the Rhythm. Her lyrics got deep, maybe too deep for the crowd that came for fireworks and whipped cream bras. Songs like Bon Appetit and Swish Swish clashed with her activist image. Katy tried to embrace modern feminism by shaving her head and rejecting the male gaze. But her 2017 album, Witness, was a critical and commercial letdown. Her biggest hits had one common denominator: Dr. Luke, the controversial producer with a string of sexual assault allegations, most notably from Kesha. Perry's decision to stay quiet during the case and then work with him again later felt like a slap to the very women she claimed to champion. In 2018, she made headlines again, for the wrong reasons. On American Idol, she kissed 19-year-old Benjamin Glaze without consent after he admitted he'd never kissed a girl. Imagine if the roles were reversed. The outrage would have been nuclear. But Benjamin later defended her, only to be arrested years later for serious charges, which, let's just say, make the story even more twisted. That kiss incident caused an old video to resurface, where Perry groped a then 18-year-old Justin Bieber in 2012. Yet again, imagine if it were flipped. Her pattern of crossing boundaries with young men started raising more eyebrows than her outfits. Without Dr. Luke's hit-making machine and facing backlash from every corner, Katy tried to rebound with Smile. It was reflective but bland. Critics called it dull. She faded from the spotlight. And pop moved on. Dua Lipa, Olivia Rodrigo, Sabrina Carpenter, even Tyla, they all surged while Perry's star dimmed. She could have bowed out as a legend. Instead, she tried to compete. Now, in her 40s, she's on stage doing TikTok-core twerking and full splits that feel more like a midlife crisis than a comeback. Her new single, Woman's World, was supposed to be a feminist anthem, but it sounded like it was ghostwritten by ChatGPT and your aunt at a wine night. Critics torched it. And the kicker? She brought Dr. Luke back to produce it. The same guy accused of exploiting young women helped write her empowerment anthem. It's like throwing a women's rights rally and inviting the villain. She even joined Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin space stunt with an all-female crew that rang a bell and went into orbit for 5 minutes. But instead of celebrating the moment, she promoted her tour. Critics mocked it as cosplay activism, rich tourists pretending to be astronauts while the economy burns. Her 143 album flopped. Most people didn't even know it had more than one single. Even AI would deny writing it. Perry brushed off the backlash, saying, "I just wanted to. So I did." Now, her tour is a punchline. The choreography is giving middle school talent show, not pop legend. She's become a meme in real time, chasing relevance in all the wrong ways. Katy Perry's fall from grace isn't just about bad dancing or awkward PR stunts. It's the result of years of pandering, posturing, and abandoning any consistent identity. If her music had stayed great, people might have forgiven everything else. But now, the lights didn't go out on Katy Perry. She just stopped shining.